Hello, it is Sage,
And Tyler, hi.
and we're going to be showing you a improvement of Seth Bling's Flying Machine that he made a while back using the new clone commands. So first off, we'll just show you what it looks like to fly it around. Got one right over here, and Tyler will do that real fast.
Alright, we'll jump right into the pilot's seat. Alright, I'm gonna test the 4 directions.
I have a little problem with the signs, but I'm not sure why.
And then we can do our up and down. Those are down.
Yep, and this thing's actually pretty fast. You want to just try like running as fast as you can in one direction. It's a little laggy.
Not too fast in that direction. But yeah.
But yeah, it all works, and it's pretty hard for it to... It doesn't always render completely, but it's all there. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just get into the command blocks real fast on this one over here to show you how it works. So let's get started with just up and down. We just use command blocks for these, but this is basically how all of them work over here. First, we're just using the clone command, and it's cloning an area that is just basically the outline of this whole structure. So that is going to be measured from one corner all the way down here and just straight out this way and down to the very bottom. So we're just measuring it from this coordinate over here to just on the opposite side over on this coordinate right here. And those were those first 6 coordinates you saw in the up and down command. And those ones are all the same. And then these relative coordinates are just going to be based off of, this is actually kind of important, it's always the northwest corner. I've seen a lot of videos about the clone command where they just say like, oh yeah, and then you just teleport it from the corner. It's the northwest corner, so you can remember that. If you look on F3 and you're facing, looking up on the facing in the upper left, it's north and west. And that's the corner you're going to be, you're basing the entire clone thing off of. And those relative coordinates are just from those command blocks down to that corner. Realized I didn't really specify this, so when you're measuring those relative coordinates over to this northwest corner, since you want the thing to move, you actually measure those coordinates. So when you're going up, you measure it to this block, which is one above the northwest corner, bottom corner, it's in there. So one above it. If you want it to go down, you do those relative coordinates to this down block, one below it. Same thing with north, you face one more in the negative z, west, one more in negative x, south, one more in z, east, one more in x. So you're not measuring the relative coordinates directly to the northwest bottom corner. It's one away from the northwest bottom corner depending on which direction you want to go. And now for the other directions, these ones obviously just done by a button. For the other directions, we have this square down here. And basically these are pretty simple. It's just a set block air and a set block redstone. So it's just giving us a 1-tick redstone pulse right in the center. It's doing that on all these sides. For some reason on this south side, sometimes the redstone block will disappear. I'm not quite sure what that is, but I think it's just a bug in Minecraft. And then those are all just activating this test4 command, which is just looking for a player within radius 4. So it's anywhere on this purple square above me, or over here, same thing, testing on the yellow one. And anytime you get within that, this comparator will turn on, and we'll activate this over here, which is just another clone command. These coordinates are all the same as in the up and down, that's just outlining the area, and then these relative coordinates just once again over to that northwest bottom corner. and we have one of those on every part. You can literally make any size ship you want as long as it's within the limits of the clone command, which is 4,096 blocks, I think. So they can't be huge, and obviously this one's not very big. It's going to be a hot air balloon, but I figured the balloon would probably be way too large because it includes the air blocks when you're cloning. So you have to make them kind of small, but you can make them any size or shape. You can make a little boat, you can make a little airplane, spaceship, I don't care. As you can see, those converters are turning on, and that's pretty much it. You just have to copy those command blocks to anywhere, to any size ship you want, build something around it, and then just clone the whole thing once somewhere else. So just clone it to the side, and the second one you'll be able to fly around. This one doesn't move anywhere because it's set to clone from here to like one block next to it, and you can't clone something into the same area that it's occupying. So that one over there will work. I could clone this again, and you could have as many of these flying around as you want. You make a whole fleet. Just be careful not to fly them into buildings because they will destroy them. And yeah, that's about it. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, just leave a comment. Thank you. One thing I just wanted to say real fast, make sure when you're measuring these outside the dimensions of your ship or whatever thing you're flying around with, make sure you give it one layer of air around it. So like you can see here, I'm actually one to the side of the ship. Same thing over here. This, if you're adding up and down, this actually needs to be one lower. You need a good box of air all the way around the edges, because if you don't, when you teleport this, like let's say you teleport it to the right, it would leave this layer behind it. So you need this block of air so that it deletes the layer behind it. Otherwise it will leave like this whole trail of debris behind it. So just make sure you have those coordinates right. Also, just a word of caution, double check, triple check, quadruple check your coordinates. If you do this wrong, you will make a giant mess out of your server. I had a couple problems with that. Just make sure everything is right, because otherwise you're going to be having to use a bunch of TNT to blow up the millions of things you cloned of this. Also be really careful, because if you go, it's safe to do it in the original, because this thing can't clone because it's inside itself. But if you actually go down here in one of the working versions, like if I were to do it over there, you can get stuck in there. It'll start just cloning itself over and over again right on top of you, and you won't be able to get out. So just be very careful about that. Make sure your coordinates are right, and good luck.